All right, so we have a game. Two FIDE Masters, Wizard Bar and 1800 Strength. Wizard Bar is the second board from Chicago, playing against the third board from Austin. So Austin has a very strong team. Chicago is missing their top board, which is a huge difference because basically you're replacing your 2700 top board with your 2100 bottom board, which is unfortunate. Austin lost a player to graduating. um, can the Caro win Atulia, national master, who was a very strong player for them? UChicago, they're like maroon, right? Maroon and like white, maybe. Okay, let me shift all this. Bottom board for UT Austin, username Dr. Doofenshmirtz. You love to see it. All right, so I am good to go here. Missing both A Wonder and George. Yeah, that is unfortunate. But it is just regular season. It is the first game, so I want to look at Dr. Doofenshmirtz. Man, 2800 IM is your board 3. That's a tough team. When Chicago's in full strength. But unfortunately they're not at full strength. Oh, let me adjust the size of this. My bad, you guys. Wait, has the bottom row been cut off this whole time? That would be very sad. Probably. Probably it was. But yeah, we are good to go here. So I'll also probably be getting a better scoreboard. He's also GM now. Oh, you sent the wrong. It is Max Zinski for you guys. So we are looking at a GM incognito mode. Yeah, I don't know George either. Stevis. Max 1996. Oh, Max Z. All right, let me try to follow these people. All right, so I have Max's game. I'm missing Will's game. Took a gap year. Well, good to have him back. Where can we find the games once the entire team match is over? The games that have been played, you would have to look up the username. I don't think we have links available for that at the moment, unfortunately. is a mess. Praveen's gonna win. Praveen's a very strong player. Praveen is a grandmaster. So, are they missing their second board, or who should Will be playing? Yeah, Will should be playing their second board. Docky Lin. Where is Docky Lin? Believe 1800 strength might not actually be 1800 strength. Donkey is 1800. Is he actually? Or William is supposed to play Slip Mouse. So the boards must be in the wrong order. Yeah, Donkey is playing though. Donkey is playing. Okay, so I'm following Will. I'm not following Will's board 2. You probably told me that. It doesn't matter. Hold on, let me move these then. I guess it is arranging them for you guys. Okay. You don't know the usernames, Moshrov? It should be on the Plate CEA site. Okay, so we have. We're still missing Will's game. Yeah, not sure about that game, but that's okay. So let's see what's going on between the two FIDE masters here. Wizard Bar is up a pawn, but black can take on a4. White has the bishop pair and the active rook on the 7th. Hey, Wikipedia, what's up? Oh, let's look at Max's game. Oh my god. Okay, so Rui Fang, top board from Austin, versus Max, bottom board from Chicago. Who I guess normally would be a D2 player. A very strong D2 player. Okay, this pawn is running, but the rook is in time. I think, okay, so yeah, drops this, force this out. Yeah, so black is winning. Black is winning now. Take? Wait, whoa, what? What? Oh, no. You had to take, but it was still lost, I guess. Take here, and then they just promote, so. Oh, Doc, hold on. We should. It might not be fully up to date. Okay, Rui Fang, the win. Let's go back to Wizard Bar and 1800 strength. So Donkey is the leader. He's a cabbage. Okay, so this pawn is running. This rook is behind the pawn now. Both players in some time pressure. What's going on here? Is that a move? Yeah, so get out of the pen. Oh, but that was not how to do it. So that was unfortunate. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to solve their problems, but that's a mate threat, no? Yeah. All right, Donkey wins with the nice rook and knight mate. Wizard bar goes down to the time pressure. So Austin, a strong 2-0 start from their top two boards. Can Chicago answer back? I believe Praveen can do it. Yeah, we have a roster command for it. But yeah, my apologies with the bot. Where do you submit scores? Sorry, Wikipedia, if I answered late. The score should be on the same page as the pairings link. Man, so after this game, I have a break, maybe. Not this game, I mean this match. I shouldn't be thinking of that right now. I need to be focused on the commentary. Who here is rooting for Dr. Doofenshmirtz? Do we have any Austin fans in the chat? Anyone from Austin? Okay, this looks like a checkmate threat to me. How do you stop it? You have to go here or here so they defend. What is Praveen doing? Praveen's in a tough spot against the Doofenshmirtz. What's up, Kim Stud? Slipmouse went to sleep at 4 a.m. and might not show today. So that might be a forfeit on the, I guess. I don't know. Okay, so the knight should defend this pawn. Praveen's in a tough spot. What the heck happened, Praveen? So trading the dark square bishops. Wow. Yeah, why would you take with the rook here? I guess they didn't want to drop the pawn. Praveen has offered a draw. Praveen has offered a draw. This is an old grandmaster trick against an untitled player. Offer the draw in a worse position in a time scramble. White wisely declines. Dr. Doofenshmirtz too good. Oh, but this king though. Oh my goodness. Rook takes. There's probably a mate threat here, if I've ever seen one. Do you give up the queen? No, that's mate. That's mate. What? No, no, no. He goes here. I'm dumb. I'm blind. But I don't know. What am I thinking? I don't know what I'm thinking. Bishop takes. Yeah, rook takes here is lights out. So you can't even take back. This is GG. Look at this bishop. Oh, he takes anyways. Yeah, it's not a line you want to go down. Queen check would have won the rook here. Either way. Ooh. Force rooks off. Bishop block. No, that's GG. Dude, what the heck? Praveen going down to the fourth board. Dr. Doofenshmirtz. 3-0 start from Austin. Although they are missing Slipmouse to 4 a.m. bedtime. Dude, Doof crushed it. So rook takes was a huge mistake as the knight discovery opens up this queen fork. So yeah, Praveen missed that. Nicely done from the fourth board of UT Austin. I would say that's the first major upset of the season. All right, so round 2 underway. We've got Chicago's fourth board against Donkey. All right, National Master attacking the FIDE Masters Knight. No respect for these title players. I mean, Doofenshmirtz taking down a Grandmaster like it's no big deal. These FIDE titles just get no respect. Here, we've got Grandmaster versus FIDE Master. So Wizard Bar and Rui Fang. The Grandmaster chair. I suspect he's probably the strongest player in his chair. I don't know if that's a picture of his chair. It could be. Wizard Bar with the default, gray pawn. Although he has updated the flare. Very important to upgrade your flare. A Wonder is playing in a tournament. So, priorities, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what tournament could possibly be more important than Collegiate Chess League, but A Wonder probably had prior arrangements. Oh, it's an online event. European invitation. Is he in Europe? It was in French. Oh no. Yeah, it's online, so I didn't expect him to be in Europe, but all right. What's going on here? Pretty tame. Neither player has traded. Black initiating here. So does white pass this pawn with the move e4, or do they take? If they pass, their dark square bishop could be locked in for a while. So probably they'll trade, is my initial guess. But yeah, black with this move is opening up their bishop, which is nice, and closing this bishop, which is also nice. It's a double nice move. So white decides for neither option, maintaining the tension, which makes a lot of sense. Okay, let's look at another board. Let's look at Daki against Max again. So Max can't castle as his king would be in check. So what's the plan here? Perhaps to castle queenside into perhaps white's attack. I don't know. Okay, so knight's eyeing up f5, attacking g7. But also, black could probably trade here. Actually, what this is doing is threatening queen check and checkmate. So, yeah, after pawn block, I guess you go in the dark squares. So what is the plan here from Max? Luckily, the knight covers the square, because if the knight was not here, you would have this knight sacrifice, which isn't really a sacrifice. You'd win material. But yeah, black just continuing on, trying to castle queenside, get the king out of the center. So queen check, there is g6. And then probably the queen will go on the dark squares. So no, going here instead. So yeah, attacking g7, taking with the pawn here. So yeah, this is threatening queen check now. So black gets the king out of the center. UChicago, I believe, is on quarter system. I could be wrong. We got Kim Stud, Wikipedia, and Chess Jawa. We got some OGs in the chat. Been here since last season. Can't get rid of them. Although I suspect Chess Jawa will probably graduate soon. He's been in the league all 3 seasons. Kim Stud, a bit of a seasoned veteran as well. They played last year, right? Wikipedia as well from Temple. Yale has been in the league all 3 seasons under the leadership of Dex Webster, who I realized his full name is Dexter Webster, I believe. Chess Jaw was only a 3rd year. You've been the leader of UChicago for 4 years, or since your freshman. Well, I don't know if you were the leader, but that's great, dude. You lucked out on the timing. All 4 years. And Dex is also a 3rd year. Oh my god. Man. You guys, I don't know. CCL first season as a freshman. That's great. You're also 3rd year. But Wikipedia, you weren't here our first season though. Right? Temple was a join last year, I believe. Maybe I'm wrong. Can't get rid of you guys. Yeah, hopefully you guys also get your PhDs and your MDs. Your MD PhDs. Just stay a student forever to compete in CCL. Yeah, so White's losing this pawn. Max has put everything he's got on this pawn. Although the knight hits this bishop, but maybe bishop moving back and all as well. Although that blunders this pawn. So yeah, queen here, knight here. Strong counterplay from Daki. That being said, the F pawn is going to be hard to keep. What's up, Pink? How's it going? Yeah, the double elim season. Double elim was literally just like, let's come up with something so that we can just get teams playing each other. Really no rhyme or reason. No detailed structure. Like, wasn't even a regular season and playoffs. Just straight up double elim bracket. Let's go. So, okay. Black now could take this and then this. Yeah, why is this not a free pawn? Somebody tell me. I guess we take here. Okay, so taking here first. So now white maybe takes here. No. Putting the rooks here. Yeah, I guess it wasn't really a free pawn. Because after takes, just rook b1, right? So, no matter what, white will always have the option of opening the b file. So, okay, knight hits the queen. Queen's going to have to move. You go here, the knight can hit the queen again. The queen will move. But where, though, is the question. Let's look at Will's game. He's down to his last 20 seconds. So Dr. Doofenshmirtz, who took down Praveen is up 3 minutes and is playing this end game. I think the knight maybe is technically better, especially with dark square pawns. So bishop here boxes out the knight, although the knight can only go here. So this does threaten this fork though. Okay, so trying to undermine the c pawn makes a lot of sense because the knight will then hang. But knight here should win material. Now going here instead. Now taking here, you have this take, so... Okay, knight boxes the king out. Maybe this is just a draw. I don't know. How do forfeits work? Is it the same as last season where you get 0 out of 4 and lose an extra 2 points? Oh, I actually don't know if we're keeping track of that. Is white better now with this passed pawn? Will is playing well. So bishop here, controlling the light squares. Kick the knight out. Oh, the knight's trapped. Wow. Will is winning. All of the extra time. Dr. Doofenshmirtz cannot convert. So Will, I'll give them 2 points for the first round, as there's a forfeit. So who's not playing right now? $1,800 strength just beat max. So that's a second point for them. I guess it is Praveen that's not playing. So Praveen gets a second, or their first point from a missed game. Dude, I know they have questions for me. I'm trying to hide right now. Okay, we're both under a minute here in this game. Rui Fang against Wizard Bar. This looks dead even. I don't think either player will make progress, which would be a really good result for Wizard Bar. But the knight's trying to get in here. This knight covers this square, so trying to force some trades. White's gonna be fine here, actually. I think they might be able to make progress if you trade here, bring the king this way. Although, actually, now black is creating a pass pawn on their own. What the heck? I said it was dead drawn. Maybe there's so much happening that I'm confused. I think knight here could be a good move, maybe. Although, I guess you just lose that pawn. Wow, sacrifice. Rui Fang going all in. There's knight check first. Yeah, intermezzo, I guess you'd call it. Take, and then this white pawn is running, and the knight actually can't go back. I don't think you can take here. I think you take here. Yeah. Wow. What a shot. Both players under 10 seconds now. This is a very exciting game. I think black is favored. So, white trying to get rid of their knight, but black doesn't take the bait, and now running this pawn. So the king is there in time to stop it. But now black's king is going to enter the equation. The knight and the pawn cutting the king off. So this still very well could be a draw, I guess. As soon as the knight moves, the pawn hangs. But there's still a lot more to be left to play, I guess. Because yes, you can go... Oh, they repeat. Okay, so they just accept a draw. Wow. So the first draw of the season, from what I can tell, that was Will against Wizard Bar. So, or Rui against Wizard Bar. No. He shouldn't get 1.5. I think he just gets a half. So 3.5 to 4.5. Yeah, that makes sense. So after 2 rounds, Austin is up a point despite being down a player. All right, Wizard Bar versus the Doofenshmirtz. I wonder if there's a Perry the Platypus account in the league. Maybe like a profile picture of a player or something. That could be the opponent that Dr. Doofenshmirtz needs. All right, so both players castle kingside. Both players with the Fianchetto bishop. Black playing with b5 makes sense. Put the rook on the b file. Push the b pawn. White expanding on the king side. White expanding on the queen side. Getting connect 4. Does white get a counter connect 4? I think f5 makes sense. Maybe kick the knight out first. So the knight running away preemptively, perhaps, opening up this diagonal. The bishop is tied down to the pawn right now. So we have g5. Knight going into d4. So offering to double their pawns. Dr. Doofenshmirtz accepts that immediately. And now plays b3. So pawns on light squares. Gripping the light squares here. Gonna be hard to make progress, actually, now with this doubled pawn for black. I think, I don't know. What do they do? What's the knight gonna do? Go here? No. Can't go here or here. This to this, perhaps. So just developing the queen first. Maybe you want to develop the bishop as well. This, I don't think you react to. I don't think you want to take. Yeah, this is awkward for black, for sure. Wizard Bar is going to have to come up with some tricks. This does give up the e square, though. e5 square. Now you could come into e5. Not right now, because you dropped the pawn. So maybe a queen move first. So rook goes to the e file, which is interesting. You don't really want to move the e pawn, as this is going to be crushing. So yeah, I think like a queen move, then a knight move, maybe. Although not entirely sure what the knight's doing. This bishop could develop as well. And does so. All right, knight goes into f4. Okay, I like this. Pressure here, maybe rook lift. No, the rook lift here makes more sense. Because you want to bring this rook over this way, so you want to develop this bishop at some point. Yeah, queen here hits the rook. Probably then you hit the queen out and defend the rook at the same time. So, oh, but that would drop the pawn. That would drop c2. So queen here, probably then you'd have rook here, I guess. Yeah, rook here would prepare bishop here. So Wizard Bar is thinking. They're down on time against the Doofenshmirtz. Although Doofenshmirtz had a lot of time against Will. And Will was able to convert. So, all right. Capil going for e5. Kicking the knight out. There is en passant, which they do take. Pawn takes. Queen putting some pressure here. There's queen here, and then queen here. And then they block with something. Yeah, there's no follow-up there. You'd have to retreat. So, yeah, probably... This. There's also this, right? I guess the threat is 96, so knight goes back defending the pawn, opting not to push. So this knight has gone backwards. Okay, developing the last piece. Trying to get the rook in. Yeah, h5 is always an idea. William versus Roofing. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, so black is not castling. Rifang is up a pawn. White is a bit safer. This is a very nice bishop, taking away these squares from the king. So yeah. I don't know what the deal with this is. Why not castle queenside? Maybe he couldn't castle. Let's go back. Let's see what we had here. That brings us up to date. So yeah, I don't know. Pretty peculiar move from the Grandmaster. Confusing will. So he trades here. This undoubles the pawns. Oh, queen defends the rook, or the bishop, that's why. Okay, but yeah, light square problems here for Rifang. Maybe rook over. Time is about even. Bishop hits the knight. Saying, go ahead, fork me. I'll just take you. But then, okay, probably you'll see f4 at some point. I was thinking you could even go crazy. Sack the rook and bring the other piece in. So yeah, this is a strong move. You cannot take. And this is threatening the pawn, which would then threaten the bishop. So yeah, we do see f4, which makes a lot of sense because you want to close the f-file because your king is on it and there's a rook on the other end. And the king and the rook do not want to meet. I mean, the rook wants to meet the king. The king is not interested. So the king gets off the f-file, puts a little extra pressure here. So I guess black's threat, if they could move twice, would be to take this and then take this. But if they take here, white can simply take here first and then take back. So that would just be a trade of all four of these pieces. We might see something like that anyways. So, okay, rook here, pressure here. This pawn is defended by both the bishop and the queen. But always good to put the rooks opposite the king for tactics. Perhaps the threat is to take here, then take here, as this pawn would then be pinned. So, yeah, I don't know exactly what's going on. Rook here seems like a strong move. This bishop is pinned to the queen, actually. And now the knight is pinned to the queen as well. This is a very strong move from Rifang, and I think it wins material. I think if you try to defend the knight, the move like h4, you're going to get hit by a move like h6. So yeah, Will is in the think tank now. Ooh, Dr. Doofenshmirtz has beaten the wizard bar, so that is their second point out of 3. We do have trade of queens, and so the knight is going to save itself. So I missed that. Okay, grabbing a pawn, hitting the bishop. But bishop here, no? Bishop here drops the pawn? Okay. Interesting. Bishop goes all the way back. So the knight is still trapped. So h4 creates a square for the knight to go to. Rook here attacking the pawn. So getting the pawn back. Knight hits the rook and attacks the pawn. Pawn's attacked a lot of times and defended sufficiently, but bishop's gonna come, or the knight's gonna come in on the light squares. This is a very bad bishop. The bishop should develop here if it's to have anything to do in the rest of this game. Literally every pawn that black has is on a dark square. So rook here, I don't understand. I don't get this one. Maybe check and then take this, but couldn't you have done that before? I don't know. The rook should not be there because the rook is smothered by these pawns. So the rook takes a step back. He said, JK, I want the knight here instead. That's a huge fork if the bishop didn't exist, which it's very close to not existing. It only controls 2 squares. So what is the plan here? The bishop says, please take me. The knight says no. Check. There's the knight here. Okay. So what's going on here? Ooh, the bishop could take the knight now. And now the bishop is the one saying no. So Rui Feng is up a pawn, technically. Will is trying to... Oh, giving up an exchange. What is this all about? There could be rook check. No? Yeah, no, this just wins a piece. Yeah, Will's crumbling in the time pressure. 1 second is not enough. Not enough time. They're going to flag. Will goes down to Rui Feng. Great game from Rui Feng. Saying, if you're not going to take my bishop, I'm just going to win your knight. So Austin is 2 points away from winning the match. Let's see if Praveen has anything to say about that. Praveen playing in their second game here today in round 3. One board was forfeited. Praveen wins this one against Daki. So Praveen and Will for Chicago, both 2 out of 3. And so we're going to move into our 4th and final round of this match. Shouldn't UChicago have 1 more point? Let me see. Is my math off? Probably it is. Who are they missing? After the 3rd round, I believe, does Wizard Bar get the point? If Slipmouth? No. It would be to Max, right? Max gets a point. Rahit was the hero. The Doofenshmirtz, dude. Doofenshmirtz carrying. Slipmouse is still asleep. Sleeping like a mouse. Austin only needs 2 wins, but they only have 3 games to do it. So technically this is an even score right now. I believe, yeah, Wizard Bar should just get an extra point right now. So we have 2 games underway. We're missing a 3rd. So we got the 2 titled players here, 2 titled players here. Like, everyone's so strong. This is just going to be the standard for D1. Both of these players are 2,800. Praveen lost to Doofenshmirtz, though. Rui Feng had a draw against Wizard Bar. So neither player is flawless out of their first 3 rounds. But Ru Yifeng hasn't lost yet. Only a draw in that crazy knight and pawn endgame. Slit Mouse trying his best. Is this Slit Mouse's best? I don't know. If this is his best, they got a lot of room to improve, which is a good thing. Okay, so Ru Feng bringing the knight back, getting out of the way of the c pawn, and the knight gives up control over e4. So black takes this and plays c3 here. So yep, connecting this pawn chain. PhD student problems. Yeah, it happens. We got a lot of PhD students playing in the league, which is great. Yeah, if there's staying up till 4 a.m. as an undergrad, and then there's staying up till 4 a.m. as a PhD student. Two totally, completely different reasons. They're both staying up till 4 a.m., but different reasons. Slip Mouse sounds like a band name. I know it's mouse slip backwards, but it's like Slipknot or like Mouse Fly. I don't know. Mouse is just. It's a good username. It's like he mouse slipped typing his name. Put it the wrong way. It's creative, you know? Here you got Grandmasters, you know, Ruifeng. His username is Ruifeng. Praveen's username is Praveen B. I assume they were born in 2002. Like, you know. At least UT Austin has Dr. Doofenshmirtz, who isn't playing right now. Where is Dr. Doofenshmirtz? They should be playing Max, no? Hold on, am I not? I'm probably not following them. It's probably happening, and I just wasn't following the player. No, I was following them. The challenge isn't going through properly. Oh. That is unfortunate. That's an issue that we should bring up. If it's a fault on the site link. So if they're able to send a challenge manually, they should do that. What just happened? Why did Will give up this pawn here? Oh, because the bishop is pinned to this square. What a great move. What a great move. So yeah, let's see. Did 1800 strength blunder this? Yeah, so they have a pawn here. They put the queen here. And Will sees this tactic. Oh, wait, hold on. So takes. Take with the pawn here. Okay, so this bishop's going to be very strong now. So that was just a very big fancy trade. And now Will's attacking here. He wants to open up this king. He wants to leave the rook on the h-file, and I don't know. He's going to maintain the option to castle for a while. Max's idle. Max's settings. Come on, Max. Max is filling in, dude. Max is the fourth board sub. Really? So they've been challenging each other the previous rounds, and now they've gotten to each other. The final boss battle of today, and it turns out the biggest boss was the settings, not each other. Okay, let's go back to the Grandmaster game. The Grandmasters. How did this bishop get here? Here takes. So I guess white could have taken this and then lose. Well, no, the knight defends that. I guess you take and take. So instead the queen hits the bishop. Pawn's defended. So does white wish to take on e4 and give up c3? This is the debate. So Rifeng does take. This is a good bishop. So takes. How do we take here? Or do we go here? We take this. Lots of things going through Praveen's mind. Bishop here is also a move. Wait. Whoa. Hold up. 1 second. You guys? Hello? Am I missing something here? What an interesting move. Wait. Oh, it blunders this. Well, what about... Oh, that's covered. Yeah, I guess there's nothing there. I was pretty excited. I thought we'd see a Botez Gambit, but no. All right, so Praveen is up a pawn. And because of that, Praveen wishes to trade queens. In fact, he doesn't wish, he demands, as the queens are forced off the board. White cannot maintain the queen on the board, and so we'll lose the queen. Trade queens. Black will double isolate their pawns willingly, as they're putting pressure on the A pawn. So white playing for the activity here, as well as the speed. Although they're down time, they're trying to catch up. So take. That's not so great. But what else is there to do? Maybe rook here. Maybe pawn push. Rook here. Hook 'em horns. That's Texas, yeah? Texas is technically winning, although I guess it's tied. I still don't know why Max and Doofenshmirtz haven't played yet. Maybe it's possible that I could set up their game if they're both in live chess. Titled or protected players. Oh, they got it. Too low rated. Yeah. He's higher rated than his opponent. I don't know if that was the issue. But they got it. They got it going. You're playing in the league later today. That's awesome, Daniel. What team do you play for? And welcome. Max couldn't challenge because of his rating. Max was too low rated. He's titled. It doesn't matter. They got the game going. That's all that matters. Okay, so what happened here? We had a trade, and now rook here hitting this rook as well as the bishop. So white can do a few things. They can defend the rook with these 3 moves. They can trade rooks, which is less than ideal because that's just really good for black. Or that's it. 1, 2, 3 moves, in my opinion. That's what they've got going for them right now. Oh, wait. They're playing moves, and I'm not seeing it. So what choice did they go for? They traded. Oh, they went for f3. Okay. Rook here, or pawn here. I'm not sure if I fully understand. Oh, there's the fork. Tricky Praveen. Trying to bait Refang. Refang's not going to fall for it. Okay, white has this up their sleeves. So if pinned, the king will step out onto the light square. You're playing for Baylor. Welcome. Yeah, this is Baylor's first year, I believe, in the league, which is exciting. Okay, so white trying to play for h6. Black says, hold up. Don't forget about your bishop. So the bishop's like, oh, yeah. Oh! Oh! Praveen was ready for it. Praveen had it. Refang with a blunder in time pressure goes down to Praveen. So Praveen with a huge point here. Going 3 out of 4 on the day. Only losing to Doofenshmirtz, the 4th board from Austin. All right, so now we got Will against Daki. Will is up a pawn. Both players under 10 seconds. Pawn check. Rook takes with check. Daki's better here, for sure. Lining up discoveries. Trying to create a mating net. Will's in trouble. You dare not take this pawn. Okay, this hits the rook. Rook check. I don't like trading. I would have left the second rook on. I would have gone that way. So let's see. Can Daki convert this? Will was up, but now I think Daki's much better. Very past a pawn, and soon to be winning these pawns. So here to go here, yeah, Daki wins. Will had no stop. So that was a nice in-game technique from Daki, who is also 3 out of 4 on the day. So that brings Austin within a half point of a draw. Actually, let me just add this point for Wizard Bar. So it literally comes down to this, the final game, 7.5 to 7.5. I believe if it's a draw, though, it goes to the team that had all 4 players. I'm actually not sure, as we've probably changed our policy. So I don't know what happens if this game ends in a draw, although I don't think it will end in a draw. We'll see. So Doofenshmirtz is up a pawn, but very behind in development. Max is farther in development. Doofenshmirtz plays very fast. They've been ahead on the clock a lot of times. Can Doofenshmirtz clinch for Austin? Carrying Slipmouse to victory. Slipmouse, you know, going to bed, 4 a.m. They knew that their team didn't even need them. That's how strong Austin is. All right, so what is going on? So the knight was hit. Max gets the pawn back. Black finally castles. This bishop has no moves. This bishop hasn't developed either. The queen is opposite the bishop. Knight takes here is a thing. So probably we'll see the queen move, and we do. Help to support this. And now black is expanding on the king side. We have an opposite side castles game. Always fun. Always room for fireworks here. And yeah, I believe black will just continue with a move like g4. We'll see. Do they play g4? Give up the pawn. Do they go rook here? Do they develop the bishop? I think if g4, maybe you just develop the knight. Maybe you lose this pawn. Okay. So no, the queen is hitting the knight. So the knight defends itself with the pawn move. And the bishop finally enters the game. Max down to the last minute here. So under a minute, bringing the rook over. So rook here from the A file tells me that the rook here wants to stay on the F file. So maybe the king will step aside. No, okay, the bishop kicks the rook out, so the rook has to move again. This pawn is hit. Probably bishop here, maybe here. Maybe neither. I don't know. Yeah, neither it is. So we could take en passant. Queen takes and now defends this. Okay, bishop is hit. Bishop goes in. Okay, offering queen trade. Honestly, the bishop on c3, there's not much you can do about it, but at the same time, there's not much the bishop's really doing besides taking away the e1 square. So I think white can work around the bishop. I think f4 is a good idea. Oh, so this is ultra passive. I think black can double the rooks now. So the bishop comes in, but now the rook isn't hitting the pawn, so the rook just moves. Yeah, okay, so a lot of pressure here. Maybe bishop here, is that going to be the move? So, okay, hitting this, I mean, maybe you could sack. No, because knight takes. I was thinking after the pin, you just go here, but yeah, trading the knight for the bishop. Ooh, the knight's trapped. The knight is trapped, ladies and gentlemen. Max missed g4. So the knight is cooked. There's really nothing you can do here. So Max is going to lose this game, and Chicago is going to go down to Austin. Austin's going to get the dub. The game isn't over, of course, but it's kind of over. It's kind of over. 3 minutes as well to 13 seconds. So that is unfortunate for Chicago. Austin down a player, but up on the scoreboard, which is what truly matters. I don't want to give the point just yet. I mean, obviously anything could happen. Doofenshmirtz could run into some sort of platypus. I'm surprised there wasn't rook check, trading rooks first and then taking here. But really, it does not matter, as essentially everything wins. Unless, you know, black could put their bishop here. I don't think that would happen, but all right, going for the passed pawn. Max knows his team needs him. Oh, forcing the trade here, promoting the pawn. Solid technique, hoping for stalemate. Can he construct a stalemate? He's going to try to block his own pawn. Oh, king here, queen here. There's still king here. King has too many moves. He's going to push the pawn and then play here. Oh, queen takes. Oh, there wasn't a Rosen trap, unfortunately. Oh, stalemate. Stalemate, push the pawn to the king. All right, no stalemate. Dr. Doofenshmirtz with 3 wins as board 4. Getting the final point that Austin needs. 8.5 to 7.5. Close match. Unfortunate for Chicago to not convert down a player against Austin. So GG to Austin with the win with only 3 players. Hopefully Slip Mouse can join us next time. I'm sure we're all dying to meet the PhD student who was working on a thesis.